Welcome. Welcome. My name's Brian Knight and I live near Melbourne in Australia. And it's just turned 5 o'clock in the morning on it's got to be a Wednesday. Okay. Yes, middle of my week anyway. Okay, let me just share this. Welcome, Tom.
How you doing, Brian?
Good. I'm okay. Bit rough all this driving stuff, but anyway. Welcome to this live FOREX analysis session. Just noting the trades discussed in this group are to be classed purely as educational only. That's because we're a group of people helping each other and we are not financial advisors. So you only need to take trades that you're happy to take based on your own analysis. There is a full risk disclosure, a bit about us as live session traders there. Yesterday was a bedlam day. I didn't get back to the charts. It's like, there's too much going on. All right, let's go share what is going on. Right. That was that NJ. I lost on that. Got into that trade and she just came back here, bounced off the bottom. I didn't put it further.
Pair?
Anyway, sorry?
I'm trying to figure out where you're at. What pair?
NJ.
NJ.
New Zealand Japanese yen. I was just looking at it. So I got knocked out overnight while I was asleep. Came back down. So I think, like looking at this is just a long-term sellout. And so this push up here that it's done is really just a push up to then start going back down again. We haven't got a short, but I mean, that's really only a bit of time. We'll just see. It might just sort of dance along sideways for a while, but ultimately, I think a sell is what is going to be the thing here. Anyway, let's go from the top. Let's go AUD CAD. I was just looking at it. So, AUD CAD, long-term sort of sellout as well. This push up. Look, it's really not broken out of here at all. I'm not willing to do anything at the moment with it. It may go red on us and sell out like this. But look, I was thinking, Darren's not here anyway. I was just thinking they need to, if they're really tight on the line here like this, I think we need to really pack out the stop losses. But anyway. Oh, there's young Darren. Yeah.
All right.
So, hey, Darren, how are you?
Okay, thank you.
Did you get knocked out of that NJ?
I did for only a small stop loss was quite tight on it. So
yeah, same here. I was just thinking. I was sort of contemplating these ones that are close to the rail, like this, for example, when it's doing this sort of like green, red, green, sort of stuff. I think that potentially we have to sort of look at where the stop losses are in relation to this, maybe in taking the trade. Like if it's, say, for example, it's like, you've got your short and it's like pushed away, that's not such a deal. But when it's sort of doing this, and you won't know until it gets into this, but when it's close to this and doing potentially this sort of moving, then maybe we need to create a slightly larger stop.
Well, my sort of thought on these is when we're entering, when it crosses the trend bar, is if it doesn't work out at the first attempt, so in this case, I got
Yeah,
in
this would
late, first
buy.
turn green, pulled back,
Yep.
and I was out
Yep.
again.
Yep.
I think in pretty much all these cases, if it doesn't work first time, I'll then hold off until, as we can see here, until it makes a definite sort of break one way or the other. Because I think that's rather than trying to sort of stay in it, maybe with a bigger stop loss, just stay out of it, wait for it to
actually decide which way it's going.
it's incredible how they hang around on this line, isn't it? You know, it's this sort of imaginary line that's on there, and it's almost like a magnet. It's just hugging that now.
Yeah.
In some cases, they cross, or we may get a long or a short on the line. We get in, and away it goes straight away, which is great. Like I think Euro USD did that the other week.
Mm.
Pound US dollar.
Mm.
There's obviously quite a lot of cases here where they don't, they just get stuck. So I'm definitely not going to be getting in and out on these.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once if it fails the first time, then for me it's as we're doing here with AUD card, wait to see, wait for it to make its mind up. And
Yeah. We see this
NJ
this
now
could
falls into that category because that's done the same.
correct. Correct. And so this could potentially turn red. So what it's done is pushed that, created this high, bang, and then dropped back down again. I mean, I haven't been in this trade, so because of this channel. This turns red and gives us a short, then that's overriding this long that was in that initial stage. And also, too, this long is a fair distance away from the line. So it's like, how, can you really count on this long to be something? Like, this is where Tom is going like, okay, I've got a long there. I'm getting into the buy after that sell.
Yeah.
So he's got, I'm looking at this from what we're doing, going like, well, if I get along, I might even just grab this bit back to the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, like after that long, you get in somewhere on this candle, for example. I mean, that even there is like 140 pips. And Tom's grabbing those, which is, after a big drop like that, it's more likely to sort of push up to some stage and try and, even that out. But I think you're right.
But I want to keep these
keep
these losses.
This one.
Yeah, keep these losses small. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I don't start losing 1% every on these all the time. By having a bigger loss.
No. So here it's sort of like this situation. Unless I get a short and a red here, I'm not even going to think about.
No.
A short. I think a short would, if we give us a short, that would change the decision making process in it. Anyway, we'll just see what happens this week. Work that out. Okay, AUDCHF. That's come off. Now we've got a long there. See, that would have been a nice trade up that I think Tom probably got anyway. And you would do it maybe back to the line. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
I mean, again, sorry.
That's almost a different, another sort of. I mean, it looks like these are a trading opportunity. These are opportunities, aren't they? To trade these back to the trend line, and your exit potentially could be the trend line. We can see
it doesn't necessarily need to be, because if you get in on this trade here and you have a stop loss here, it never came back to it. And when it punched up and then punched up, you'd move your stop profit to break even, right? And then it punched up again, you'd move it over to here. And then when it came back down again, it would stop profit. Now, it'd be only a very small profit, but at least it would be a profit. Does that make sense? Like, let me show you. So you see this long and you go like, okay, and even if you waited for the next candle or whatever, but even if you got in somewhere there and you had your stop loss down here or here somewhere, whatever, you can see that it never comes back to this point, right? And then as it pushed up there and it came back here, you wouldn't move your stop loss. But once it pushed up there and then it gave you that candle, you'd have your stop there, because this is where you entered. We entered there. And what would happen is it would, you'd have your stop loss there and it would go ding, 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 bang, and knock you out. And you'd have that small profit. I mean, there's that risk in here, those number of days, but that's still still a profitable trade. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you could go like, okay, when it hits the trend line, I'll get out as well. But yeah, you could. I mean, that would give you a better sort of like, if you got in there and you said, okay, when it hits the trend line there, I'll get out. And maybe that is an option, like.
Yeah.
But you see, this is all dependent on the fact that, this has been in the sell for a good period of time. So anyway, just a thought. So now I'm waiting for short now and potentially get into, because it just, this trend line hasn't changed since, back here on 25th of Feb.
Yeah.
It's just been red and shorting out the whole time, or selling out, sorry. So now, yeah, short we're looking for. We'll see how we go. AUD JPY. Now we don't have a short, but it's certainly gone red. Now you wouldn't be in that till you get a short, would you?
No, I was waiting for a short on that. I did take the buy and then
got out of
closed it straight away.
Yeah, well, look at this. Look at the long
For a very small loss. And, yeah, looking for a. And you just look at the trend, really. I mean, look how many times it's come back to the line. It got a short, and it's dropped again. I mean, it's been doing that now since. Well, go back to sort of July.
Yeah.
Last year, it started selling off. So this potentially looks like this is going to be a continuation.
Yeah, and I think it'll do it more too, because the middle of next month, or sorry, tomorrow's next month for me, but the middle of the month there's a rate decision comes out, and the bet is that they'll lower the rate. So
I think you've got to have your. Sorry? I think you've got to track your stop loss fairly, quite diligently each year.
Yeah.
So you don't give up the profit when it pulls back. So I think
I think it's an everyday thing, obviously. See, here could be a situation that what you do is you got that long, even in this situation, you got the long. Like, I think it, well, I personally, anyway, I'm personally thinking if you've got a long here or a short way out on either one side or the other, right? So this is, in effect, this long here is like a fair distance away from when it ends up happening, a fair distance away from the channel. I think you've got to wait.
Wait for it to pull back to the trend line.
Well, yeah. No. I'm thinking, like, if you got in right here at the top of that candle, you've got this.
Oh, right, for the buy. Sorry, yeah.
And then back again, right? I mean, it's just this. It could continue on, but I think you'd want the next candle to try and show you that there's a buy. Like, I probably wouldn't get into this until what you would say is it would break that high, and then you might get in at this point, which is exactly the same point anyway. But you've not had a stop loss from here all the way down to there. Does that make sense? Because you would probably then put your stop somewhere here rather than down here. Does that make any sense?
It does, but I think
If you-
that's a bit too close to the trend bar anyway. When that long, that's such a big push up.
Yeah.
So again, you're
Well,
getting in
it
there.
came back to here and then it pushed up.
It
So
did, yeah.
I don't know. I'm just trying to work out what and when things are a certain distance away. But anyway,
Yeah.
we're just waiting for a short here and then potentially into that cell. Okay, AUD NZD. Now there's a long here. You know, I think that's relatively close there. We'll
Yeah.
see. But this has been long term sellout too.
But again, yeah, it's it, it doesn't look very convincing. That does it? Got the wick
Well,
candle that
no, there's no.
bounce off the
You
trend
see,
line.
after the long, there's no body of candle that even
No.
breaks the previous. I mean, sure, it tried to go up, but this wick is saying, well, I've got no. I want to go up, but I've got no commitment. There's no hard currency being thrown at it to actually push it up and give it more momentum. So, but anyway, I think really waiting for a short out of this.
I think we can get a short quite quickly on it. And, 2 or 3 candles and be back in it for the sun.
Yeah.
Which obviously put out the previous one. So
yeah, the end of the week or the start of next week, one or the other. Right, AUD Singapore. Again, you see this? It pushed up, you get into the buy, but then it just sells back out on you.
it's just struggling this one.
Now you got into that though, didn't you?
I did. I'm still in it.
Back here.
Just.
And you're still in it, but now it's pulled back and you got a little bit of drawdown on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'll sell out. But I think we'll end up getting a short on it.
Yeah.
But
again, the trend, this has been in a
long-term downtrend
since July last year.
AUD USD. Now this is just playing around now. Aussie dollar's not going too good on that one, but anyway. It's whether the US dollar will strengthen up or not.
Well, I'm still in the buy on this, so
oh, you are? Oh, God.
Yeah, it's on me.
From here.
Stop profit is in quite a good position.
Up there.
So, yeah.
Okay. No, we'll see. All right, CAD CHF. No short out of it yet. Look at that. Push down, then back up again. So this is definitely a longer term sell out of this one. I mean, this was, relatively the end of Feb as well, or 21st.
I mean, if you really sort of
you wouldn't.
It's been in a downtrend for almost 3 years now.
Yeah. Even further. I mean, this sideways stuff was for a while, and then basically it just all dropped. Anyway, I'm just going to wait for a short, and then we'll see how we go. All right, CAD-J. In that for the sell still. Oh, yeah. I got in. Where did I get in? Where's my CAD-J? Hang on.
I mean, the other thing I was sort of thinking, I don't know if it's the right approach, is to do or do I introduce a rule that it needs at least a touch of the trend bar before the short to get in it. Do I need that as a? I know it doesn't do that every time, but they usually do, don't they? You look back, all those sells, all those shorts going all the way back to last sort of summer. Virtually every time it's hit the trend bar before, and then the short, and then in. Hit the trend bar, the short, and then in.
Well, yeah. Like
so if we get a short,
done a short, then it's come back, and then another short. Okay.
If we get a short without it coming back to the trend bar,
yeah,
in this case, it's fine. It's hit the trend bar, get the short in.
Yeah, and it's
It's
come
just
back
whether
again.
do I introduce another rule if it fails to reach the trend bar first, then it doesn't qualify. I don't know. Maybe I'm being
Oh no, that sounds
a bit
pretty
fussy.
fair. Anyway, I'm in the cell. If it gives us a short, that would be nice. We'll just see what happens. It's certainly given us one green candle, and now it sort of looks like it wants to. But the thing for me is there's all this low here. It doesn't seem to want to break.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in the
It's
cell. I've got in the cell on it.
it's like, yeah, I was in the cell from this short here, somewhere at this point. So I'm still in a slight bit of drawdown. Oh yeah, CHF and JPY. Well, I'm in this. I'm in with a stop loss down here. It's come to the trend bar. It's given us a short. Let's see what it does.
So
It might take.
get it for the buyer here also.
No, I didn't get into the buy. No,
Uh,
no, I'm still in the sell and in a nice big drawdown. Hmm. I'm pretty sure I didn't get in until this candle. Somewhere in here anyway. Might have been here. It's pushed up nice and then it just sort of dragged itself back to the trend bar. So we'll see. I don't know what you're on, Tom, whether you're just waiting for it to make up its mind, probably.
Yes, that's correct. I'm just waiting for it to decide one way or another.
Yeah, but you got that sell out there.
I think it's going to buy.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
It's coming to the trend. But look, we may get red or not. I mean, here even, you see how it's sort of done a couple and then shot off. But all right. Yeah, the Swiss franc. Okay. Euro AUD. Again, this is not sort of working out what it wants to do yet, whether it sells or buys. I think it will buy. But we need a long on that to give us something. I mean, you even got along there. But, once you get these sorts of longs, that's beautiful. We'll just see. The market is in a bit of like, it really doesn't know what the hell's going on. And it's just playing so safe at the moment. All right, Euro CAD. You're still in that.
yeah, well, I profited out of the
Yeah, I think I did
previous
too.
buy, and then again, I think this gradually drifts down to that trend bar, get along, and then back in.
Yeah, well, the short really hasn't done much, has it? Look at it.
Oh.
All right, Euro CHF. Well, I need to be out of the buy on this one. Euro CHF.
Yeah.
There is no short, but I don't know whether I just get out and wait for the short, or I flip it, one or the other.
Well, I'm going to wait for the short, but
you got into that buy though, did
I
you?
got into the buy, a bit of drawdown. It's turned red.
Yeah, I think
if it's still red, then I'll resell time. I'll get out.
Yeah, I'm out of that one then. I just got to wait for a short. We'll just see. Anyway, that was a small loss. It would have been better if I had a. Anyway, that's okay. Euro GBP. Right, now we've got a change, but we've only got a doji on it. And there is a short.
Yeah.
So is it time?
Well, that's
Probably not.
that could disappear. That could turn green again.
Yeah.
I'd be waiting for the next candle. See.
Yeah, I agree.
This could easily just hug the trend bar now. mess around for
and then take off. But yeah,
take off one way or the other.
okay.
Um,
Euro JPY, I agree with you too. Look at this. No, this is rubbish. Forget that one. Euro NZD. Again, this is like still just playing around. There's no short, there's no long, there's no, after that short, there has to be a long at some point. So we'll see.
well, the
Maybe.
buy is the easier trade, isn't it? Because you get the long, and
Correct.
it simplifies the decision making, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It's trying to get the sell where it's a bit tricky.
This is, and also too, this has been, since again the end of Feb, it's been.
Yeah, this has just been getting a push up, then back to the trend bar.
Yeah.
Then off again, then back to the trend bar, off again.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. All right, then there's nothing yet at the moment. Euro Singapore. Now, this has been interesting, this one. It's been buying the whole, again, since, 3rd of March, the end of Feb, start of March, and then off it went. So when you look at it, you do have a long there in it, and then off it, it's quite another long there, another long there. All right. I'm not in that trade, and I'm not. Look, I'm just sort of waiting to see it come back towards the trend line, give us a long, and then potentially buy it back. We'll see. Euro USD. Are you still in this?
Now I profited out, so that was it was a good trade overall.
Yeah, okay.
And
there's a short there.
Now got the short, which helps. So if we get a long, get back in.
Okay. Let's look at these British
I think
pounds.
probably pull back a bit further. First Euro USD. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it will too, potentially. But for Tom also too, this would be just sideways. He's not going to commit to either of that at the moment. Potentially.
I'm in the buy.
You are.
He's in. Right. No messing around.
Okay. He's ready to jump out though. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
GA.
Well, this is getting interesting. Looks like this may be ready to
give us
up.
Well, it needs a long though.
Yeah, but that could come the next candle. Another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm up 1.5 on this one.
Yeah, already. Yeah, well, we need something else to give us a little bit of confidence. But then again, it could quite easily give us a long and then drop itself back down. But it has come off the trend line. Well, we'll see. GCAD. I'm in the buy off there, and it is still in profit.
Yeah.
I've got 80 pips on it or something.
Mm.
Now, it's not really a situation where I can move the stop loss into a stop profit. Well, I could limit the amount. I mean, I could move it up to here.
Yeah, that's where
wherever it is.
That's where I am. Just
That's where you are. Okay.
8365. I think where I am. Nice.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
8367. Hang on. Let me just have a look. Oh. Right. Okay. Pretty short. And I'm going to do this just so you know. Also, I know. Let's say, look, okay, so I've got my stop sort of roughly in that position. I'll start putting some of these on. We might make that one a red. How does that sound? Just so you know that it's a stop profit. Now, the thing is, I'm pretty sure that entry, though, was here somewhere. Where is it? Yeah, 184,729. I don't know how that worked, but that was entry stop loss. So it is, in a way, it's now in a sort of a break-even situation. I don't know where I got into, how I got into that one there, but anyway, maybe I didn't get in until over here somewhere on that candle. What day was it? Oh, oh no, I didn't get into. Says I didn't get in until there. That can't be right. What's the date? Hang on. It says created on the 25th of the, oh, yeah, 25th of the 4th. That's that one there. Oh, well, okay. Well, that seems weird. Okay. Can't see how that's possible. How can it be created on the 25th and the candle be up there and entries down there? Oh.
Could it have kept you in by spread?
No, I don't think so. No, because it was a market execution. It says the 25th, so that's, well, I don't know, it could be there or there. It might have been. Look, doesn't matter. Too many mysteries sometimes. Anyway, it's in a break, a break even situation. So we'll just see if it pushes up a bit further. That's great. If not, then if the next candle comes down a bit, even I'm going to move the stop up to here anyway. That's the plan. Because it'll be two candles back. Even if it's a sell, you want to sort of preserve some of that profit that you've got. GPCHF. Oh, okay. Got the long to there.
He's trying again.
Yeah. Now, whether that continues or not, there is a long there already. So whether we get a short long, anyway, this is, I don't know, I think, anyway, well, this is just a decision-making process from day to day. You wouldn't get into the buy. You might have previously, Darren, but I think it's not worth at the moment. You're going to need to see.
No, I've not been in it yet.
It's going to need to break a high that it creates, and at the moment, it's not.
We've got that imbalance. Those two big sell candles. I think it's going to push up, work its way up, and take that out.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And Tom's still in the buy, or are we in and out? And
I already got all that. I'm
Yeah.
out because I thought it was coming back.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking for the buy up.
Okay. But it'll need to break this wick up here somewhere for you to.
Yeah. That green wick right next to it.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, yeah. GJ. Well, how's that? Push up, push down. So if you had got in on that, you got the long and got that, it's just pulling back down there. Now, is this so? I didn't get into it yesterday, and in actual fact, I wouldn't have got into it purely because seeing this sell candle out here, right? You got a long, got a buy. That's nice. You would have got in that potentially, Darren.
Yeah, well, I got in. I was quite fortunate. I got in on the long, that red candle, because it was green at the
Oh
time.
yeah. And then it changed. That's
So I
right.
got that profit from that
So you're
push.
still in,
Still in profit a little
profit.
bit.
And is your stop here now?
No, it's not yet. I stopped.
Okay.
Is
Oh, you're going to give it a bit more to breathe. Okay,
still
you're
at
going to leave
its
it
entry
down at the
position
long.
at the minute. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Mm-hmm. Well, for me to take this trade, what I it needs to break the top of this here. It needs to sort of come back up, and for it to buy anyway, I think it needs to come back up through to there. Is that what you're waiting for, Tom?
No, I'm not waiting for anything at this moment.
Okay.
I have a sell-off candle, but I don't think it's going to last very long.
No.
I think it's only going to come back to the where it says long there,
Yeah.
and then it's going to turn around and shoot back out.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we might get a short then too. So we'll just see. If it wants to, like, yeah, we were already in the buy though, Darren. So we'll just see. I'm not convinced to get in on this one. Okay. GBP NZD. Now, we've got a long and got a buy. So what's the thought on this one? What is
I'm
the
getting in
thought?
it, so that's my thought.
Ooh!
Well, I'll wait. Let's see if that long holds. These things can suck down,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
think I'll probably be getting in this one for the buy.
Okay.
I'm up 1.6.
It's been this trend now for a year,
You mean the buy?
since October.
Yeah.
Pulled back a few times, but yeah. So this could be a nice buy to take potentially.
Yeah. Look at it there. It's been even further. Wow. Went sideways there, but like even down here, it's like Feb 23.
Yeah.
Feb 23. Okay. Yeah, Tom's already.
Just taking those longs, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Profiting out, take the long, profit out, take the long, profit out.
Well, again, it's got that one there. So
Yeah.
and I think it's yeah, potentially this could suck back, but I mean it's what are we now? An hour and a half off. It's already sort of pushed up and then pulled back to a certain extent. I think yeah, I'll wait until see how I go when I get back. Yesterday was a disaster. I couldn't get back to the charts. I'll see what happens when when the next candle appears. We'll see.
So have you guys considered taking 50% candles of those green candles that give you the longs and doing like a limit order down to the bottom of the red candle?
Okay, explain that. So what you're
Can you
saying
grab a
is,
box
yeah. I'll grab a box.
placeholder?
Oh, you want to place on it? Yeah,
Yeah.
for a long. Okay, yeah.
Okay, your
50.
entry is 50% of that green candle. Your
Yeah.
stop is at the bottom of the red candle.
Yeah.
Now it's a limit order. That means
Yeah.
it's got to push up, come back, tap you in, and not beat that bottom of the red candle to keep going up. just
Yeah.
like it does over here on the left side when that little candle turned red.
Yeah,
You take
over
50%
here.
of the big candle. Yes. You take 50% of the big candle to your right. That one,
Yeah,
50%.
came back to there.
And your stop is down there at the red one. If it's
Yeah,
truly
yeah.
going to keep going up, it shouldn't be able to beat the last red one it created.
Yeah.
If it's truly going to keep going up, it's going to come back 50%. Check that fair value gap.
Mm-hmm. There's merit in that. Hmm. But also, too, if it doesn't come back and if it does keep going up,
Right. What have you lost if it keeps going up and comes back, 10 candles later, taps you in?
yeah,
You're still in the same spot.
in the same situation. Yeah, okay.
If it starts to turn around, you'll see it in a change of trend bar.
Mm.
It's turning red. I got to get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And then as it's pushing up off the green trend line, see all the red wicks? That should be your next entry.
Say that again, Tom. Sorry, where were we looking? Over here or?
Yeah, right there. See
Yeah,
all the red
okay.
wicks?
Yeah, these ones.
That's failure. That's why the candle stayed green.
Yeah.
So it's telling you it still wants to push up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you got ones here saying like, yeah, this still wants to push up, but it's going down. Yeah, okay. Oh,
I mean, I think these are the best entry points, I think, aren't they? You've got a
off the line.
It's off the line, it's green, got the long.
Yeah.
We're not going to get a better potential entry than that, really.
Well, you see, what about this though, Darren? You've got a short there, and it's back to the line here too, and then all of a sudden it just shoots back up again.
Yeah.
So, but that short is not a red candle. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's it. But here you've got a long.
You got a green and a long. Yeah,
a green and a long, and it's in an uptrend overall, I would say.
Yeah. But I think what Tom's saying is that you get that push, and then the market might say, "Oh, look, I'm going to suck back to 50% of this candle before I take off." It would be a much better sort of entry position. And what Tom's saying is, I think what he's saying is, what's it matter if it doesn't make it there?
Yeah.
And if it does come down and trigger you in, right, it has to go down and touch it and then turn and come back up. And if it doesn't and it continues down, well, you kill the trade.
Yeah.
Just as you would anyways.
You just
turned red by then.
Yeah, with a safety net, you have a safety net with a stop down here, so that if you die and you're not there to look at the trade in the next couple of days, well, at least it'll be safe.
Well, look to your left as well, because you also swept that liquidity right there, that little red one. Did you sweep anything else to the left?
What you mean this here? Yeah, with this one down.
Yeah. Anything to your left?
No.
Yeah, look at that. You went in and you took out all that except for that fair value gap. Right there to your left.
Yeah.
Okay.
That bit in there.
So is this going to now be the turning of a change in the market where this is now going to finish doing its pull up, but not beat this high? So you'll have another long here. It'll come up. It'll do its little magic tricks up top here and start to turn around and come back and get that fair value gap. That'll be the bigger move
magic tricks. I love telling you magic tricks to do. But this is you know, this is a crazy move in here. Like, this is just
So are you
not
guys just
normal.
are you guys at this point just saying whatever the line is what you guys are trading?
Yeah, primarily.
Okay.
Mechanical, purely
But
mechanical.
but then it has to actually have some, you know, there's also has to be a sort of a long or short in relation to it though.
Right.
Because if it doesn't have this, then it doesn't give it as much importance. Say, for example, you got that candle with no long there. It's like, well, sure, it could just pull back again, which it does commonly. Even though, well, you got a situation here though. See this long, and then just pull back. Then it kept going. But it like there's got to be some
50% to 50% of the big candle it took to break that red. There's your entry again.
this one, this
Yeah,
one.
back there's that little red candle.
Oh, this one here.
No,
Oh
see the
no, that
little
one.
red candle?
Yeah. Oh, that one there.
Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See the sixth candle up with the red wick?
This one.
That one right there. Look at that candle
Yeah.
where it came back to.
Yeah, it came back to 50%
To the
of that.
50% line of the short.
Yeah. Hmm.
So even if you had,
Yeah, but it also came back here to for more than 50% of it as well. So I mean, this would also trigger you in and then take off.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, Brian. So if your low is, you can see there's a short there. Even if you have a short that's green and that turns red, these turn green again. That's still your entry for a buy.
Yeah, yeah.
Let it push up, push up, push up. Eventually, it came back and touched anyway. 50% of the original candle.
Yeah, that's right. The original signal. And
Doesn't matter how many days away it is, you still get the same exact amount as if you were sitting there and it came down, touched, and you entered. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Our dilemma, or my dilemma, in speaking with about this, is that short over here, that short is a green candle with a short, and that just that there, it's like hot ice. It's not it's not sort of melding properly on that one, and to sort of validate that to a certain extent gives red red and then offered buys. So
yeah, that's exactly why I'm saying if you take that green candle that says the short, regardless of the color, just regardless of the color, and cut it in half, right across. It's your last engulfing candle at that red candle right there. That's your stop. That's your entry. Just let it play around. If it's going to keep going down, it's going to keep going down. But you got your big engulfing candle here, taking it. You have a red candle, little green candle, and then a big candle.
Yeah.
So if you even just stick with the original 50% candle, that could be a trade. This never came back and took that red candle. That could be a secondary trade. When that red candle hits that red wick with it, third trade, fourth trade, fifth trade.
Yeah, but the problem what I've got is that's a short for a sell. So they're not trades to buy; they're trades to sell. That's the.
I mean, just in terms of this pair generally, this it's in this uptrend, but it does make these quite big moves. So if this is the start of another move, this could be 1,000 pips, 500,000 pips quite easily with this pair. I mean, look how many times it's done it when it's come off the trend bar and.
Yeah, I'm just right.
Trades.
I'm just looking at what Tom's.
That's right. Yeah.
But then again, you see, the thing is, we've got to shorten the screen. So for me, I just go like, no, I'm not in that trade. Anyway, we'll just see. This one, yeah.
Well, I think so. The case you get in now, or you're getting on the pullback
Yeah, correct.
and get a better entry.
I'm just going to see where the candle comes in when it opens up the next day. I've got an opportunity to doing that because well, hopefully I'll get back to the thing. So hopefully today will be less crazy. Right, Singapore. This is one that just keeps pushing up nicely from that long. That's really nice. It just come back here, but Tom hasn't got this one.
So frustrated I got out to this one.
Yeah, you did there. But that's just the way it is.
It is, yeah.
Right, GU.
Well, I got back in this for the buy again, so
yeah, and it pulled back on you a bit.
Yeah.
But it hasn't broken the low, so
no.
Okay. GCAD. Long there, back.
Yeah,
back
I'm still in
here.
this. It's slowly working its way up, though.
Well, you've got to, push up, and there's a high up here. Okay, and then that's a non-convincing buy, and then it sells back out. Well, you've probably got your stop down here somewhere, so it'll still be a profit. You just give away a bit, that's all. Right, NZD CHF for the buy, and now, now what? Now
Sorry,
it's turned.
NZD CAD you were looking at. No, I profited out for a small profit on that NZD CAD. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's taking me
NZD
out.
CHF. Now I got into that in the buy, but look, you look at it. I think it's time to short, but it's time to get out of this one.
Yeah, I agree.
A little loss on that one too. Right. I'm waiting for a short on that. There's got to be something, I think, overall also too. I'm thinking also, Darren, these trades here, like for example, they look like I think the overall trend needs to be taken into consideration on these for longer term trades.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at that, it's like, okay, we got pullbacks on there. Absolutely, there are. But the overall trend is what we want to follow. It's a sell. So why would you take anything else? Anyway, I'm
yeah.
just get frustrated with the thought of like, oh, that's great, yeah, and then bang, it just turns around and comes back down at you. So anyway, wait for a short on it and then see. But look, this one had a short and then just basically turned around and pushed back up. But that's away from the trend line, where if you get a short at the trend line, there's more likely to have that sort of break of structure to push down. Okay. NJ. Again, you see, you'd be in the buy for that, and now it's in the sell. I think that was the NJ that I got knocked out of. Yeah. All right. Let's, again, long-term sell.
Yeah.
So you just wait for the short and get in. NU is a bit different, though. Again, it's sort of deciding what it's going to do. That was a good trade up, that one was. Very nice.
Still in this.
All right, with a stop down here. So it just depends. It's going to be a nice profit for you, that one.
Yeah.
Right. Singapore, Japanese yen. Well, just doesn't want to, I'm not looking at that for the moment. UCAD. sideways, but you still, that would have been a nice profit off that
Yeah,
short there.
still in it with stop loss is fairly tight, but stop losses was 1.3916. So it's sitting at the moment.
Three what? 391. Okay, yeah. Just
3916.
up here. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. If you got it off
I've
there,
got in
it's
at 42322, so got it
yeah,
right. So,
yeah.
right at the top there.
Okay, well that's good. USD and CHF. Yeah, we got along, but then pull back again. So this is also, since back the middle of Feb, just been pushing down. That's been a great. Anyway, whether it makes it back to the rail or not, but it's just jumping around at the moment. UJ still selling out as well. Again, this is overall long term. So I think if we get a short,
I'm back in this. I'm back in this. I profited out and I'm back in it again now.
Back in for the sell.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Well, I haven't got a short. So how do you have a long that you've sort of gone against?
No, I'm still working off that previous short. So you got to
There isn't a long in there that you got.
No, but there was
Okay,
that,
all right.
that
That's why.
engulfing candle. Sorry,
All
yesterday.
right. USD Singapore.
Yeah.
That's still selling out as well.
I'm back in this. Profited
Okay.
out. I've got back in again.
Yeah, right, yeah, fair enough.
Being a bit of a devil at the moment, aren't I? Bit
Yeah,
radical.
you are. Yeah, okay. But the devil in a white hat though. So gold is still just sideways. It's not dropping down or going up. It's all right. And your silver, where's that for you? Pull back a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. And your oil. Whoa, that's dropped off. Now you got a short. What do you do?
Oh, I've not got a short yet. You got a short?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've not got it yet. But yeah. Will I be getting in that?
Wow.
I've seen a short on my feed, but definitely getting in that for itself. They were talking about oil on the news today. I was listening there. Putting this all down to tariffs.
Yeah.
Got quite how that affects the oil price. Didn't quite understand, but
Well, I was reading something or listening to something about that the US really hasn't put there was some senator or whatever it was, he was blagging on that, that really Russia's making all its money out of oil. Well, not all of it, but majority out of oil exports. And really the sanctions haven't really stopped them from actually getting that. And if they were to stop Russian exports of oil, we'll see though. But look, that's all hypothetical. We don't know what's going to happen with it, so it doesn't really matter. We're still got to just make decisions on what we see on the charts. So yeah, you don't have a short yet, okay?
yeah.
Certainly dropping off. Well, at $60 a barrel, that's sort of not making any money in the US on that, apparently. But you look at it here, it came back up to the trend line, touched it, and then it's just dropped off. So
Yeah. Which is what it did in February a couple of times. Came back up to the trend line, dropped off. Beginning of April, it crossed the trend line before it turned and dropped off again.
yeah, well, this is the thing, it doesn't really sort of push up this broke structure. So that was hopeful, but then it just came back down and poked up a little bit. Because again, this is overall trend. It's like, well, you could take that buy, but ultimately it's just going to drop out. Anyway. All right. That's your day. What is it? Wednesday for me. So this is we call this is hump day. So once we in the middle of the week.
I wonder if you fiddle about with the setting on that trend bar. You take out some of these colour changes. I don't know.
Oh, you mean make it bigger? But then again,
I know it's also trying to manipulate it to suit it, but yeah, because they are distracting. When you see the trend bar changes colour.
Yeah, but then again, it does change, but it just means you're doing it. Oh well, we'll just see. Well, you can change it and just see what you think. Anyway, what do we got at the moment? It is at 25. So
Do you need that to make that figure higher or lower? How does it work?
I think it needs to be higher. But yeah,
it
needs to be higher to take it out.
Yeah.
See, if you take it to 40, you take that out.
Yeah, the downside of that is you'd end up staying in a trade potentially for too long. So you end up taking a bigger loss. That's the downside.
Yeah, no, absolutely. 27 you had it at.
I think probably 25 is about right. Yeah, I think.
25, you reckon?
That's what we've got at the moment, haven't we? 25.
Yeah. Yes. Rightio. Okay. Always play around with things. But it is this strategy currently we're playing around with is actually rather simplistic. There isn't really a lot of factors. I do think that overall trend from a time perspective, like months, is really an important factor in this. Anyway. All right. Well, I better get myself sorted. No worries. My only concern at the moment is this CHF JPY and seeing what that does. Anyway, we'll wait and see, won't we? All right. Take it easy. All right, Tom? Anything else you want to add in?
No, not at all.
Mr.
All good.
Mr. 50% idea, which is good. I'll have a look at that when I get back. All right. No worries. Thank you very much for being here and your input and discussion, and we'll see what happens. All right, then. Are you traveling much this week, Darren?
Yeah. No, but I will be away next week. Off to Abu Dhabi for the week. So, go the weekend, back the following weekend. So,
okay.
See
oh, yeah, that's right. You got family out there, haven't you?
Yeah, my daughter's there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Until it's hot there by all accounts.
Oh, yeah. So, no.
40 degrees now. 41, I think, something like that. So
you'll hear the sizzle.
Yeah.
Cook outside. All right, then.